Your erect length, what is it?
My erect length is 2.4.
Your flaccid length, what is it?
2.2.
2.5. Your flaccid length, what is it?
2.5. It folds on itself a bit, but it gets harder and crystallized.
It gets really sharp.
It gets incredibly sharp. So, my penis, ask me the erect.
What is your erect length with a ruler pressed into the pubic bone? You take a college ruled ruler, a standard American ruler, 12 good long inches. You're going to press this into the pubic bone so that they're hard, so that it meets a standard that we can all reach, and we all have a standard, of course, because that's how we will know we are measuring the same and there will be no cheating.
My erect length is
pressed into the bone.
2.4.
Your flaccid length, press into the bone as hard as you can, because trust me, you want to get every millimeter that you can. Press it into the bone as hard as you can.
$2.5. Now follow me on this.
Flaccid length is longer?
Longer. It's because...
The skin.
No.
Oh.
Because it gets incredibly sharp.
Okay.
And when it gets sharp, it falls in on its... As it gets sharper, it As it gets sharper, it falls in on itself and becomes thicker in a way that creates spikes. So that way when it goes in, it feels good. So that way, when it goes in, it feels good, and on its way out, it grips. So I can be the...
Say it again.
So when it goes in, it feels good, but when it goes out, it grips. So that way I can be the final male that
Something
finishes.
like the barbed penis of a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Something similar to the poisonous frog dart of the Cree people of Canada, the indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
The way they create their dart is so that when it goes in, the barbs stick so that it cannot come out as readily, and the poison and the hemotoxins are able to poison
It
you.
asphyxies to the hemoglobins.
And I must say that the inner workings and mysteries, enigmas of your penis are something like that of the Tesseract from the movie Cube. It has inner dimensions to it that are a mystery, and it is an enigma of a penis, and I am jealous, even though it is dwarfed by my penis.
But it affixes itself to the... It affixes itself to the hemoglobins.
And I will say, absolutely, that lubricants are not even required.
Nope.
Because it's so sharp. And it just gets in there.
Mm-hmm. There's no need for it to feel good.
The reproductive purposes and mission that it seeks will be met, and and that's what feels good, is sitting back knowing that the pregnancy is certain.
Mm-hmm. It fixes itself to the hemoglobins.
The orgasm is actually post-coital.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, when the woman starts displaying and exhibiting certain signs of pregnancy,
it's weeks later. She's
spotting.
She comes.
She's having morning sickness. She's woozy. She's having cravings for things like sour pickles and peanut butter.
And
we
not
both
sour
we
pickles,
both
too.
are orgasming
Mm-hmm.
post-coitus weeks later, because the process, we can feel our generation, our dynasty continuing, and we are coming.
Now, I must ask you.
Thank you.
What in the U.S. Length are you erect?
My bone-pressed, erect
Oh,
length.
yes. I need to say, if you have a college ruler and it is pressed into your pubic bone as hard as it can without breaking it. Okay. If you have a college-sized ruler pushed into your pubic bone as hard as you possibly can without snapping it.
Yes, continue.
How long are you erect? Without breaking the pubic bone. Because you can break the pubic bone.
Without...
I have broken my pubic bone before measuring.
Or cracking it. Or, God forbid, rupturing the pubic wall.
That would not be fun.
Doing just the right amount, which is as hard as I physically can at this point. Mm-hmm. One day my strength will be enough to destroy my pubic.
Mm-hmm.
One day my strength will be enough to destroy my own pelvis. Believe me. Erect length.
Yes.
This is a reveal.
I know.
4.1.
Wow.
On a good day.
Now, what about flaccid length? Still pushing the college-sized ruler all the way to your pubic bone without destroying your pelvic wall.
See, wading through the pain and trembling at the ruler slamming against my bone for that one moment where it's at its furthest, and I record in 60 frames per second, slow-mo, jab it in, that moment when it's fully jabbed. That minuscule moment when it's fully jabbed in there. That minuscule moment when it's fully jabbed and it's fully meeting the bone.
Okay, go ahead.
That minuscule instant, that jiffy, if you will, actual definition of a jiffy, when it's in there slow-mo, and I slow down the tape. I go frame by frame, and I find that moment when it's actually fully in there, because that's the standard. You just have to have a standard. There has to be a bone press standard. That point, the erect, or
Get
that
to
point,
it.
At that point, that flaccid length. At that point, that flaccid length would be, drumroll please, 0.8 inches. I am 0.8 inches.
Yes.
And that's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm simply a grower. And I would say that it is absolutely tactically advantageous.
Yeah, it's better that way because then in battle, you're not getting it shot off, grabbed, or groped by the opposite offense.
In combat, I'm less likely to lose the shaft, to have the head chopped upon.
Unless you are erect in battle, which tends to happen to people because of such high anxiety levels.
Well, I do get excited in battle if I'm winning.
Yes.
So I become more vulnerable the more people I kill, the more bodies I destroy, the more limbs I blow off, the more people I maim, the more child soldiers that I destroy. I will gain... The more child soldiers that I destroy and explode. The more child soldiers that I destroy and explode, I will get hard. The more child soldiers that I destroy and explode, I will get more hard. Because I will get stimulated and I will feel ready to impregnate. Because when I come home from battle, I am like that of a Viking. I'm ravenous. I want to enter the pussy. And I get inside, and I don't leave. I lock in. I explode. Pregnancy is certain. So is death for my enemies. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Patreon episode of Podcels. We'll see you guys very soon. Podcels!
If you don't